In today's video, I'm going to teach you create a client list on ClickUp. If you've ever felt like your client information is scattered across tools, emails, or mental notes, this walkthrough will help you bring it all together in one clean, reliable place. By the end, you'll have a functional client list inside ClickUp. You'll understand why each decision you make here matters for day-to-day work, and you'll be able to customize it so it fits how you actually operate. I'll take you through opening your workspace, using the list view, setting up a status called Clients, adding client records, and then tailoring a client's details with helpful fields like time estimates and priority. I'll also share practical tips for staying organized, navigating the interface with confidence, and avoiding common pitfalls while keeping everything privacy first and tidy. Let's begin right where your work begins, your workspace. When you open ClickUp, make sure you're in the correct workspace for your organization. If you're part of more than one, use the workspace switcher at the top left and choose the one that holds your projects and operations. Taking a moment here prevents confusion later, especially if you have similar lists or repeating names across different workspaces. Once you're in the right place, you're set to build a simple but powerful client list that lives where you manage the rest of your work. Now we'll move into the list view. The list view is ideal for structured, scannable information like a roster of clients because it lets you see tasks as rows with columns for details you care about. Navigate into the area where you track general work, often called something like all tasks or a catch-all list for your team or department, and switch to the list view if you aren't already there. You can switch by clicking the view bar at the top and then selecting List. You'll immediately notice how the layout lends itself to the sort of clean, tabular tracking that makes client management feel effortless. Everything is visible at a glance, and still one click away from deeper information. Before we add clients, let's shape how this list behaves with a status. In ClickUp, statuses are stages that tasks move through. For a client list, we want a simple, recognizable status that keeps your records organized and easy to filter. In the list view's header, open the status configuration by choosing the option to add a new status. When prompted, type Clients. Keep the name short and clear. Using a single word for this particular setup makes it obvious that all tasks in this list represent client entries rather than projects or tickets. After typing Clients, confirm it by clicking the check mark. Then click Save. If you see another Save button, often because you've made changes in a status modal or you're confirming updates at the list level, click Save there as well. Think of it as closing the loop so your configuration sticks. Once this is done, your list now has a dedicated status path that reflects what your records are meant to be. Clients. With the status ready, let's start adding clients. In the list view, create a new task for your first client. Keep the task name consistent and easy to search. A simple, standardized naming convention helps later when you're filtering or scanning. Use a format that makes sense for your team. After you type the name, click Save. Adding clients one at a time keeps quality high. If you have several to enter, you can add another right away, then save again. Enter a handful now to get familiar with the flow. This gives you sample data to work with as you customize and, importantly, lets you practice your naming convention. Think of each task now as a client card you can open, customize, and track end to end. Next, click on one of the client tasks you just created to open its details in the task pane. This is where your client record becomes truly useful. Inside the task, you'll see space for a description, an activity feed, assignees, dates, attachments, custom fields, and more. The goal here is to capture information that keeps your team in sync and your operations predictable, without clutter or duplication. Start with a short description that summarizes the relationship or what the client is engaged with. Keep it concise and focused on what your team needs to know at a glance. If you have files that belong to this client, such as briefs, logos, or approved assets, attach them here so everything lives in one place. You can always add more over time. Accuracy counts. The more clearly you fill in the details now, the less time you'll spend hunting for context later. Think about the pieces that matter to you. A primary point of contact within your team, important milestones, types of services the client receives, or relevant tags that help you group and filter. If your organization leans heavily on custom fields, this is the perfect moment to put them to work.